Hey everyone, I'm Tomer, and this is another episode of Tech Talks with Tomer, in which we explore the Stellar Network by talking with the actual people building on it. And for today, if you haven't tried it before, there are few things as satisfying as taking a pile of saved coins, quarters, nickels, whatever, and turning them into cash at the grocery store using a Coinstar kiosk. Now, believe it or not, these kiosks have also evolved into one of the most successful and widespread crypto on-ramps. The company responsible for that is Coinme. And with that, I'm happy to introduce my guest for today, Sung Choi, VP of Strategy at Coinme. Hey Sung, good to have you. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Great to be on the show.
Awesome. So Sung, maybe to get started, can you tell us a bit about your personal journey? How did you end up in blockchain and specifically Coinme?
Sure thing. So I'm not sure that I had a very linear path to crypto, although I don't think many people have. Prior to joining the crypto industry, I actually worked in renewables. And going a little further back, I have an undergraduate degree in aerospace engineering, master's economics in economics, excuse me, and also have a law degree. So I've kind of been all over the place in terms of what I've studied and what I've done. I also uh, operated a restaurant slash bar for a little bit of a time. That was more of a lifelong dream of would it be fun to run a bar? The answer is yes, but it's also very, very taxing. So I'm no longer doing that.
Awesome. I myself have run a food truck for one summer in Germany a while back, so I can definitely relate. And I do find it interesting that a lot of people in crypto come from many different backgrounds, so that's like very refreshing. So, going to CoinMe, what is CoinMe's goal and vision?
We want to provide the easiest on ramps and off ramps to digital assets that a regular person can utilize to join the digital currency revolution. So whether that's cash, whether that's debit cards, whether that's a bank transfer, whatever it might be, we want to enable anyone from really anywhere in the world to be able to access cryptocurrencies.
That's great. So CoinMe is a bit different from other crypto products in the sense that it relies on this physical manifestation, the Coinstar kiosk. Um,
Mhm.
can you share with our viewers, like, what are the differences in developing for something like a physical kiosk versus, your regular run-of-the-mill web app or a mobile app?
So when we first started, we had our own kiosks, and a lot of viewers might be familiar with Bitcoin ATMs that you'd see in corner stores and the like. We used to operate them ourselves, and along the way, what we realized was, as a company, we're actually much better at compliance and the backend infrastructure. So we decided that we would partner with existing financial infrastructure providers rather than operate them ourselves. But with that said, anything from customer support to your compliance stack tends to be quite different if you're dealing with cash. There is this fear of laundering, money laundering, and financial crimes that are associated with cash, and so we have to have a much more beefed up version of compliance on the back end. On the front end side, with our customer support staff, we do tend to get individuals that are a bit more uh, bit newer to the crypto industry that want to try out crypto for the first time. And one of the reasons why the company started with a physical kiosk in the first place was because we thought that it would impart uh, initial trust by using something that's very familiar. If you think about someone in middle America that isn't necessarily used to using fintech apps that tend to be maybe from an older generation that frankly just doesn't live digital lives. We want them to still have a familiar and pleasant and delightful experience. So what we've provided was this physical manifestation that at a location that they trust, using a kiosk that with like Coinstar, that maybe they've used before, maybe they've seen it every day for the last 30 years, so that they know that they can go and trust and use this device to then get this digital version of money that they've been hearing so much about. So many of our customers tend to be these first or early users of crypto amongst maybe their friends or family or whomever it might be. And for their, crypto experience, we're kind of an initial on ramp, and from which a lot of our customers tend to move on to other services as well, like DeFi and other CeFi type use cases in crypto.
Very cool. And you did touch on a really interesting point, which is a lot of folks, when they start building in the world of crypto, they think of themselves as, like engineers and technical service providers, but they find themselves very fast realizing that the real business is business of like compliance and legal work, which is
Mhm.
just a harsh reality of this business. So,
Yeah,
uh,
regulations are heavy in anything that involves money.
yeah. Anything that
Yeah.
involves money, and specifically with crypto, because it's very new and there's a lot of like, gray areas in the law. There's a lot of self-regulation. We
Mhm.
always talk to companies who they don't necessarily know where to fall on like the spectrum of self-regulation. It's fascinating. Um, so you have a Stellar integration, and I'm always curious, how was integrating with Stellar compared to other networks that you support?
From what I hear from my engineering team, it was a very seamless integration. Everyone's having a very pleasant experience. And it's the use cases are so interesting, and it really supports exactly what our company's mission is to provide easier access. That's delightful to utilize, and really, there's nothing like Stellar when it comes to sending and receiving digital assets instantly and cheaply. So enabling this entire use case has been a great experience for the team.
Awesome. And I understand there's a USDC integration in the pipe.
Mhm.
And from your perspective, what is the value of on-ramping into stablecoins?
A lot of our users tend to use our product for utility case. So, whether that's making payments, let's say someone on Alibaba, is demanding a crypto payment rather than a payment in via PayPal or Venmo or something like that. And that's because it's cheaper for them to receive. And especially if you're making a PayPal payment abroad, there's pretty hefty fees for the recipient. So a lot of recipients or sellers, excuse me, want the sender to actually incur the cost. So they'll say send the money in crypto, and to be able to send it in USDC is a bit more stable in fluctuations of price rather than just using Bitcoin or Ethereum or something like that. So I think that's been a major value for a lot of our users. And then another major use case is remittances. And I know it's something that Stellar's really leaned into. It's something that Coinme is really leaning into, where we've been able to follow the journey of where our users send their money on the blockchain. And so it'll be places like Bitso and exchanges abroad that we're seeing the funds go to. So we know that our users are remitting it. When we interview them, they tell us that they're remitting the money to friends and family abroad. So it's something that we really want to support. And again, it's a much better experience to remit money using a stable coin rather than just an asset that could fluctuate quite a bit. And it makes the experience a bit more familiar and a bit more pleasant for the senders and recipients for that matter.
So let's drill down into this remittance use case. If I'm in the US and I want to send value, let's say to Mexico or to somewhere else in Latin America, what is the flow of funds there?
So there's a couple cases a user can go through with Coinme. We do have just a plain crypto wallet where you can go to a Coinstar location, buy USDC or other digital assets, and then have that on your Coinme wallet, which is where we send the funds to once you purchase them at a physical location. And from there, you can use the blockchain to send funds out to any wallet in the world that you would like. This is where the Stellar USDC is so great, is because they can send that for fractions of a penny rather than $10, $20 or whatever it costs. So with regular USDC on ERC20, so this is a great use case with so many different wallet partners. So that's one use case. The other is a more closed loop case where you can pick up the cash at one of Coinme's partner locations that you initiate directly from the Coinme wallet. We do have both cash on ramps and off ramps, so that's another use case for us. Clearly, that's a bit more limited in scope in terms of where you can actually pick the money up. Whereas with USDC on Stellar or any other chain for that matter, or any other cryptocurrency, it's anyone with a wallet anywhere in the world that can receive it and then figure out how they want to then turn that into sendable fiat.
That's great. And so let's say that I'm a developer and I'm interested in working with Coinme. Is there a way for me to work with you guys?
So we do offer our services as a service. So because when we started with Coinstar, from our own kiosk, we have to convert our internal infrastructure into APIs and microservices. We've always been able to work with third parties. We also work directly with MoneyGram, just like Stellar does as well, and that's via our APIs. So we've turned those APIs into a consumable embedded product. So if you're a financial institution, if you're a crypto wallet, you can access everything that we do as a service, and it's in a white label fashion where on the back end we provide all the financial and compliance infrastructure, and then our partners work on the front end. So we have a handful of partners that will be launching with us through our B2B/enterprise product, and that's cash as a service, that's fiat on ramps as a service, but it's also digital wallets as a service. So we can quite offer quite a bit to our crypto partners as well.
Very cool. And can you share anything about what's in the future for you folks?
So there's quite a bit of excitement on the Coinme side in terms of product releases over the next few months. A preview I can give is in the next couple of months, you'll be able to uh, pick up cash at ATMs around the United States, 20,000 plus locations, where you could just pay $2.50 to be able to pick up dollars at an ATM. That start off as cryptocurrencies in your wallet. So whether that be USDC or if it's Bitcoin or Polygon or Stellar Lumens, anything you can imagine, you can quickly liquidate that and pick up cash at a physical location. We think this is really interesting because it's cheaper than a debit card transaction at a random ATM at $2.50. Typically, ATMs are charging upwards of $3+ but also it's just so convenient with so many locations. It's so many convenient places around the United States. So we're really excited about that product coming out. As I mentioned earlier, we have kind of a closed loop remittance solution where you'll be able to pick up cash at physical locations. You'll be able to do that in Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras. We're really targeting that remittance use case from the United States because we have so many cash on ramps in the US. So we're trying to enable a way to really cheaply and efficiently send money to very limited locations where it really makes sense for people in the United States. And really, it's that cash remittance that we're focused on. Upwards of 80 to 90% of all funds that get remitted from the United States to these Latin American countries start as cash and end as cash, because a lot of the demographics include, undocumented immigrants or just unbanked and underbanked individuals that, are not using traditional means of loading money into the banking system. So, with our vast cash network, we think that we can really help these individuals save money on sending money to their home and their friends and family. So we're really excited about that product going live later this year as well. And then the last one I'll mention is we're working with a traditional fiat on-ramp company that integrates with point of sale devices. So, grocery stores, convenience stores, pharmacies, whatever it might be, where you'll be able to load funds into Coinme at over 83,000 locations around the United States. So we're making it essentially, easy, ubiquitous for all Americans to be able to access digital currencies using cash. We're just really, it's something that it's a problem we think that needs solving, and with these partnerships that we're able to make and launch products with, we think that it's a problem that is going to be solved in short order.
Wow, lots of exciting things. We definitely share your excitement about Cash and Stellar because I think it's easy to forget, especially when you're in the States, how important cash is. Both in places in the States, but also especially around the world and specifically LATAM. So thank you so much for that. If people want to learn more about CoinMe and follow you, where should they go?
So Coinme.com is our website, Coinme. And we're available on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere else. Our enterprise product for our B2B customers, it's just Coinme.com/enterprise. And I'm available on LinkedIn. You can just look up Sung Choi at Coinme. And I'm the only Sung Choi at Coinme, and I guess that'll come up. So you can find me there.
Awesome. This was great. Thank you so much for joining us, Sung. Have a great rest of your day.
All right, thanks so much. Happy to be here.